Season 2 of Million Dollar Secret is already getting heated, and one thing is for sure, I would not want to be the millionaire right now. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, it's Nay. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. This video will contain spoilers for Million Dollar Secret Season 2 Episode 2. So if you haven't seen it yet and you do not want spoilers, save this video and come back after you do. You are about to hear my thoughts on Episode 2, but of course I want to hear yours, so feel free to drop your thoughts below if you do want to participate in the conversation, and give this video a like and a hype before you go. As a reminder, please do not spoil anything that happens in Episode 3. We have not seen it yet. Let's just jump right in where we left off last episode, this very first elimination dinner. As suspected, Nick does bring up the fact that he was suspecting Altie because of the no cap situation.
I heard Altie say no cap. I don't know if anyone else, he said that too. I was sitting there. Felt out of place, and I heard it like 3 or 4 times.
And again, Altie almost does what I think he should do, which is blame him knowing that phrase on the students that he teaches. That lie, like I said, would have made it a lot easier, a lot more believable that someone his age was using that phrase. And it was so hard for me to watch because it's like he almost got it. Like it was on the tip of his tongue to tell that story and create lore around why he was using no cap, but he just didn't push it far enough, or, which is probably the real reason, he didn't do it long enough. He should have started off with the story that, yeah, my students use it, and it really would have stuck better because it would have gave people something to believe in. But because he had no lore behind it, because it was just something he said randomly, well, no one really had time to marinate on it and think about the fact that, yeah, that could be true. And I know he was nervous as hell during this exchange with Nick because I was nervous for him. But also as a viewer, I was sitting back with my popcorn like, yeah, this is good. The games are beginning.
They're young Gen Zers. They say no cap, and they have other ones as well.
I just know he fits both clues, and that's not, Altie, not personal.
When all was said and done, he just simply did not make a strong case for himself. And because of his inability to make a strong case for himself, he got eliminated. And they found out that he was, in fact, a millionaire. Literally in the 11th hour, which is crazy as hell to me, but the game must go on. And now we have a new millionaire, and that's Kaleb. Now, this secret agenda that Kaleb gets is actually kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie, I actually think it's a lot harder than the no cap challenge that Altie got.
You must get 3 guests to wear one of your hats.
I'm not putting your hat on my head. Like, y'all ain't never heard of lice? He would have never got me to do that. I've been like, no, thank you, sir. I don't know what you got going on in the head. Literally. I do think that he finds a very natural way to switch into the cowboy hat because he initially had on his baseball cap. And I didn't know how he was going to switch hats without somebody thinking it was suspicious. But he finds what I think is a very natural, very smooth way to get into that cowboy hat.
Hi, cowboy.
Hola.
How are you?
Good. I missed my cowboy hat.
I know.
You just wouldn't go with this, though, right? Or what?
I think you could go with anything.
I know in his mind, it probably took him a while to figure out that that's what he needed to do, which is be like, does it go with this outfit? But the way that it played out was very smooth, very seamless, I'm just trying to see if it goes with the outfit. So it was very nonchalant, which is exactly what he needed. Now, he does let it get down to the wire when it comes to actually executing the challenge. But to his credit, it would be really hard to just bring that up casually in conversation. Like, hey, anyone ever put a cowboy hat on? Like, that'd be so, I'd be like, why are you trying to get me to wear your hat? So I understand why it took a long time, but he let it get down to the wire. He said his name is Cinderella, and he's gonna stay here until that clock strikes. And he is able to make something shake. He half-ass tells Umeko that, hey, I have this challenge as a secret challenge, and I get 2 extra votes if I do it. And my good sis Umeko is so damn trusting that she doesn't even question this man. She's like, of course you have a secret challenge and you're gonna get 2 extra votes. Duh. And so she puts the hat on. In fact, she actually puts the hat on twice to prove that nothing bad is gonna happen when she puts the hat on.
Yay! I'm gonna go get 2 more.
And in turn, because these people were also vulnerable to get hit by the kill shot, gets Hunter and Kat to also put the hat on. Now, at the end of episode 2, Kat starts to put 2 and 2 together and realize that for some reason it's equaling 5 instead of 4. And she's like, wait a damn minute. Any other time that there was a secret agenda or there was some other thing anybody had outside the millionaire, whatever, Peter has always told us that it was in play, especially by the time the elimination dinner rolls around. So she's like, something is smelling a little off here because Peter did not tell us that Kaleb had a secret agenda. And she nails it. She says that hat thing that he made me do was the millionaire's agenda. She's about to be on Kaleb's ass next episode.
A light bulb went off on my head. Kaleb asked me to put this cowboy hat on to help him complete his agenda. And now I'm realizing he's the freaking millionaire.
Another thing that I really love about this show is that eventually it's going to start making you paranoid in the name of strategy. There will come a point where every single thing that somebody is doing, you're going to start looking at it like it's suspicious because you're going to think it's part of the millionaire's agenda.
And I noticed Lauren doing a handstand. I feel like she could just be doing that, but I haven't seen her do that the last few days. Like, that's really weird.
In my last video, I talked about the fact that Natalie was playing way too hard of a game. And the crazy thing is, she didn't learn anything from hiding her clue from the group in the first round, because she does something similar immediately in this round.
I already have like a pulse as to who I think has the money.
How do you know so fast?
Oh, I'm not ready to share.
And it's like, girl, you already have a target on your back. Now you talk about you're not ready to share. At this point in time, you need to be trying to get every single ally that you can, because people already don't trust you and they think you're playing too aggressively too soon. And you are coming off as the most untrustworthy person ever. And part of me gets it. She didn't want to tip off the person who she thought was the millionaire by being like, hey, I saw you doing a bunch of handstands and this is what I think it is. I know why she didn't, but people who play like Natalie, and this is across the board on game shows, you see it so many times on Survivor, especially because of the history that the game has and the hard game players that we've seen win that game. There's always going to be someone who comes in playing super aggressively, super hard, super quickly, just off rip. They like a Hot Wheels car. Do they still make those? Coming out the gate like super hot, like NASCAR. And people like that don't trust anybody. But they don't realize that while yes, only one person is leaving here with the money, this is very much a multiplayer game, and you have to have partnerships, you have to have allies. There has to be a give and take, especially this early on. When we start to dwindle down in numbers, we get to 5, 4, 3, 2 people left in the game. Yeah, you start letting out the aggressiveness like that. But it's very much a team effort until then, because you need to be using your allies to help you suss out who that's a different show, who the millionaire is. And she wasn't playing like a team player, and that was to her detriment. She had already made an enemy out of Hunter in the first round, and so he didn't trust her as far as he could throw her, and he can't throw her very far. And she was also going in during the scavenger hunt challenge. She is 100% the doing too much archetype this season. Every game show has one. Every season has one. Speaking of the scavenger hunt challenge, let's talk about it. I love this challenge because I love scavenger hunts. I love a game of Clue, like I told y'all before. I love puzzles. I love escape rooms. If you've never done an escape room, 10 out of 10 would recommend. They're so much fun. They're just like this game, essentially. Now, I am notoriously terrible at them, but I enjoy them all the same. Although I wouldn't say I am as bad as whoever on Nick's team said refrigerator when the clue was,
I can be a lady, a granny, or just plain delicious.
Is that a refrigerator?
Who's eating refrigerators? And what are we talking about? I guess you have to be an apple eater to know that, but that pretty much was very obvious that it was talking about apples. Now, in this challenge, we get 2 team captains. Nick is one of them. Now, we already know, I think that Nick is a very strong player. He single-handedly, in the first round, sussed out the fact that Altie was the millionaire based on the no-cap challenge. That was all him. Nobody else was even thinking about it. So clearly, he's a strong player. However, his strategy for this scavenger hunt was very lackluster. The challenge was a scavenger hunt. When I hear scavenger hunt, I think I have to be running around looking for clues or something like that. And he decides to build his team based off of athletic ability.
I'm gonna try to pick up the most athletic, strong squad, head to toe.
And that just doesn't make sense to me, because what about scavenger hunt says it's going to be an athletic process to you? Whereas the other team leader, Melissa, was like, yeah, this is clearly going to be a challenge of wits, and so I'm going to pick based on who I think is the smartest brain-wise.
My goal is to pick people that I think would be smart and quick.
Clearly, Melissa had the right strategy for this game, and that's why her team ultimately won. Now, although they did win, I just need to say Kevin was pissing me off during this game. He couldn't find the apple, even though he had at least a 15-second head start over the other team for looking for it, and he was in the kitchen and he kept passing it up. He also circled the pool area for 85 years looking for the damn sailboat. It's like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to do as fast as possible and pretty much running in circles, hurdling stats, trying to find the sailboat.
And then when he got to the compass, he went back outside, and it's like, why would the compass be outside? I know that this entire game of Million Dollar Secret is intended to throw you off. It's a game of like memory and throwing you off and all of that stuff. But in this particular challenge, the part that threw you off was the word and number scramble, not where it was hidden. Everything that was hidden was exactly where you would expect it to be. The tennis ball was on the tennis court. The apple was in the kitchen. The sailboat was by the pool. So why, knowing that information, and you did know that information, you had to if you were playing, why would you think that they would put a compass outside by the pool? The noggins don't be on sometimes. I be trying to tell you. I wanted to reach through my screen and be like, sir, are you okay? Please send somebody else to do the running, because you're not doing it. That being said, I wouldn't have been able to figure out those word scrambles because my brain just isn't equipped to decipher things like that. Like when I see a word scramble, it looks like a word scramble to me. I'm rarely ever going to be able to pick out the words. So I would have been out. They probably should have sent me to do the running, because I would have never been able to figure that stuff out. And the stakes were too high in this game to not have people who could figure out the word scramble. I mean, the winners of the game got immunity from the kill shot. Who would not want that? I also thought it was funny how when they were trying to figure out the number alphabet situation, they were singing the ABCs like we all learned them when we were 3. It's just so funny that even as adults, like that's the way that we remember it.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
At least for me, that's how I remember it. But yeah, Melissa's team wins the scavenger hunt. They obviously go into the trophy room. They choose Melissa to be the one to get the clue from Peter. She gets the clue. This is the clue.
In the first activity, the millionaire was straight as an arrow.
And then we are off to the elimination dinner. And so far, I know we only 2 episodes in, but so far this is my favorite elimination dinner because this is when the hard game player has to face the music. Now, if y'all think for 1 millisecond that I think Natalie's "oh, my parents were immigrants" story was authentic, you would be incorrect.
I come from parents who are immigrants. When you grow up with parents who fight really hard to give you the life that you and your sisters have currently, you look at money differently. And so I came here to be able to give something back to them.
Do I doubt that her parents are immigrants and that they had to fight really hard to raise her and all of that? No. Do I doubt that she's had a hard life? No. But did she do it just to garner sympathy? Yes. Did she do it just so that people wouldn't think that she was the millionaire? Yes. Was it strategically timed when she brought that up? Yes. 2 things could be true at once. Her parents could be immigrants and it could have been hard, and also she was trying to use that to get some sympathy. I mean, her eyes started watering, her voice started getting real shaky. That's okay. That's strategy. That's gameplay. I get it. But you cannot trick me, Natalie. You cannot trick me.
You cannot trick me. You cannot trick me.
I know what you were doing. This was a strategic play, have no doubt. Unfortunately, it was too little too late because at this point, nobody trusts her. Even if they didn't think she was the millionaire, they still wanted to get her out because of the fact that she can't be trusted and she's aggressive. And so she goes home anyway. The curse of the hard player. This is almost always the fate of the person who plays too hard of a game too soon. And of course, Kaleb is on no one's radar, so he still has his kill shot and he uses it to get Tarek out. Tarek or Tariq? Tarek. In Tarek's situation, he is unfortunately the person who gets injured or sick during the game.
You may notice that Tarek is not among you. He's unfortunately been taken ill. He won't be joining us for this activity.
Whenever someone gets injured or sick, especially if it's too early in the game, even if they miss just 1 day of gameplay, it messes up their ability to build bonds with people. A lot goes on during this time. And if you miss 4, 6, 8 hours, no one's gonna know who you are, no one's gonna care about you, and so yeah, you are an easy person to get out. He was a low to no risk kill shot target. No one would be suspecting Kaleb is the millionaire by getting Tarek out, and no one really knows Tarek. It's not anything personal, he just wasn't there and he couldn't build anything in the time that he was back in the house. So it was easy for him to leave, and it was the smart move for Kaleb because no one's gonna think anything about it. Now I cannot wait to get into episode 3. I have a feeling Kaleb might be going home unless he gets the option to move the money around. Now last season, I don't remember at what round of the game it was, but the millionaire did get the option to move the money into another player's hands, and that would be the best thing to happen to Kaleb right now because Kat is on his ass, and if he gets to move the money before she gets to spread that around, at least before the next elimination, if he gets to move the money, then he'll be in the clear. Or not, because maybe he doesn't think anybody is on to him. So it really could go either way. The beauty of this game, you never know how it's going to play out. So I will be back soon to discuss episode 3. Let me know y'all thoughts and predictions below. And until then, I'll see y'all next time. Bye! Leader is the agenda as the other team leader. What are you doing, bud? Melissa's teams win. But yeah, Melissa's team wins. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. It wasn't any one of